Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge, your host of the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast and the Texas Happy Hour live on YouTube. All right, so the Houston Texans played their first preseason game on Saturday against the Minnesota Vikings, and unfortunately, it was a 20-10 loss, but all wasn't bad. All right, so there was some good and there was some bad. All right, let's start with the bad. I asked Houston Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans about the mixing and the matching of the second team and the third team defensive units, because that first team has so much chemistry. They have so much chemistry amongst each other. And here's what he had to say. Your first team, your defensive unit on the first team, they have so much continuity and so much chemistry together. But then when you get into like the second and the third units, a lot of those guys aren't used to playing with each other. Did you see some of that lack of chemistry today in some of those drives?
When you mix guys in the preseason, especially on the defensive side, it's not so much about the chemistry. What I'm looking for here in the preseason is, can a guy go out and execute the techniques and assignments, what he's been asked to do? Can he do it in the right way? You see some guys who are consistent and some guys who are not. So I'm looking for who we rely on, who we can trust. And I'm looking for guys to show up and prove to their teammates that you can trust me to be where I'm supposed to be. You can trust me to do the job that I'm asked to do. So it doesn't really matter about who's in or when they're in, but can you perform at a high level?
I also agree with head coach DeMeco Ryans about it's hard for you to play with those guys when you haven't played with them. But if you have your techniques down, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, if you're doing whatever the play requires, then that's what he's evaluating. Now, the good. Hey, Davis Mills did not look bad on Saturday. Davis Mills looked very, very good. And it was good to just see him. He felt he looked comfortable. And I haven't seen Davis Mills look comfortable in an offensive setting in a very long time. It was just sporadically here and there when he got a chance to play. But on Saturday, he just looked good. He looked comfortable in the pocket. They gave him a lot of clean pockets. He came right out there and led the team down to a scoring drive. He had a 14-yard touchdown pass to Braxton Berrios. Hey, listen, here's a guy coming off an ACL tear last October, and this is his first game action since then. And he is a guy that you can tell that he's getting his legs back under him as far as the game speed is concerned. But I was happy to see him being able to get in and out of his breaks, in and out of his cuts. He had 3 catches for 33 yards. And 21 of those was yards after catch. I asked him about that after the game, and here's what he had to say. You had 3 catches for 33 yards today, but 21 of that 33 was yards after the catch. Is that something that a different type of skill set, that you bring to the Houston Texans?
I pride myself on that, right? Making the play, making the catch first, and then, what can you do after it? And, I think the experience I have in special teams, is a lot of obviously carrying the ball, whether it's punt return or whether it's kickoff return. So yeah, obviously that's a hope that I can bring that to this team throughout the season.
The Houston Texans will head back to Houston and get ready to play the Carolina Panthers next week. When the Carolina Panthers will come into town, they will have a joint practice on Thursday, and I think that this is the game where we'll see a lot of the starters in, so they can be evaluated. Because I don't think that we're going to see a lot of them as far as the last game is concerned. Make sure you subscribe to the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel, all one word, Texas Tailgate Talk. Follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end, because we do everything for the gram. Oh, I got some exclusive locker room videos coming for you. And I also got an opportunity to speak with Minnesota Vikings defensive end, former Houston Texans defensive end, Jonathan Grenard. Sheesh. Y'all better subscribe to that Texas Tailgate Talk on YouTube. Big Sarge, I'm out.